Hello everyone, welcome back to our videos. This is a video where I will be fixing the mistakes I've spotted in the previous video, and I made a little bit of a mess, especially in part 10, and there are mainly two reasons for that. The first one is that I shouldn't have rushed the videos. I was, especially part 10, I was tired and I didn't have much time, so kind of rushed it. So not going to repeat that same mistake, not doing it. These games I want a little bit of a clear mind. So the second thing that I've noticed watching again my mistakes is that all my mistakes, actually up to now there were three mistakes. The first one was fixed earlier, but every mistake I've made is in relation to towns and cities, and in fixing them I'll show you what the mistakes were. And so this just means that I haven't paid as much notice as I should have in the rules, considering towns and cities, and so I'm going to be more careful and study the rules a little bit better. Okay, so that's all I've got to say about my mistakes. Hopefully you won't be very much frustrated about them. You should probably skip part 10. I'm thinking it's all a mistake, I'm afraid. I have reset the situation as it should have been in its situation, so I'm gonna go again from the beginning. But before doing it, first of all, let me thank all of you, all of our community that watches the videos and stuff. I wasn't certain when I started doing this video how people would receive it, but our community is amazing, and I'm really happy and humbled by the reception I have received. Thank you everyone. And if I'm allowed, I want to address special thanks to David Warren. The discussion with him led me to realize I have made some mistakes and started the process of fixing them. And of course Grant from Grantos channel, who has spotted and helped me address these mistakes I've made. And let me remind you that Grant is also in his channel Grantos making videos, playthrough of the Soviet solar system, and he's one of the guys that his video has inspired me doing this one. So please go and see his videos, subscribe, and many thanks to you guys for helping me out with this. Okay, that said, now it's time to start fixing some mistakes. Well, the first mistake I'm going to fix, I have already told you from turn 7, goes back to turn 7. It was this about the Soviet advance on Izium. This unit had pulled out this unit using the relevant combat tactic, and it was time to make my advance. We check for the advances in ascending order, as you remember, and the first unit was this one, 18 Popov, which was a mechanized unit, and I erroneously tried to, well, at first I got it right, but then somehow I seemed to think that it's a mechanized unit going to be a 2-hex advance, and proceeded to advance it 2 hexes, which is not the case, because as the rules state, Izium right now, before the Soviet advance, is an enemy town, is German. So when a unit, no matter if it's mechanized or not, enters an enemy town or city, it has to stop moving, and the rules are quite clear: moving or advancing. So this one, you would never get to advance a second hex, and that was the mistake. So let's fix it from the beginning. So ascending order again, this is the one that gets checked. It's a VP hex. It's of course the attacked hex. It's a VP hex, and no other units are already in, so it's automatic advance. So this unit, let me try manual. Yeah, this unit goes here. Let me put this as a reminder. Now this town is Soviet, and it has to stop advancing. First, I'm adjusting the Soviet VPs from 4 to 5 plus 1 for easier. Now the next unit, we go ascending order, that's going to be checked is this one, this infantry unit, number 5. So this unit, as you remember, had advanced. It rolled the proper die. It's if there's another unit, it has to advance. It advances on a roll from 1 to 6. I think it was a 2 or a 6, but anyway, it advanced, and so, and then that's when it was quite correct. But then the mistake happened, and I moved out Popov. 18 Popov, so this should have happened. Now we checked the other 2 of the units, but now what happens is it is a VP hex, but there are already 2 units of mobile group Popov in this hex, so it's no advance. There is no chance of advancing, and the same goes for selector number 9. Let me see. Selector number 9 is a mechanized unit, and in theory it could and in theory it could just go straight through the town and advance a second hex, but and that's quite seemed so strange to me in Grant also, but it will not, as the rules prohibit, it's a no, it's a clear no, if there are already 2 units in the hex for the unit to advance. So that's the mistake from part 7. That's fixed now. That's the proper order of the unit. Thankfully there was no Popov group activation, so no, not much harm done. Not many things to reset actually. So that's the situation over there. Nothing much has changed, to be honest. So let's go back and address the mistakes now of part 10. Okay, the mistake that changed the course of part 10 happened right here when I was following the Soviet movements. Were okay. Check them again, and it was the attack checks that followed. I forgot completely the rule about towns and cities. I miscalculated the calculation of situational tactical values, because I applied another modifier. When you're in town or city, a unit can't be flanked, and I have completely forgotten about it. So let's go back and go to the recalculate the tactical value, and okay, the tactical, as you remember, it was just 2 to 1, a little bit better actually, but it was rounded down 221, so we calculate the tactical value. So the command value of the card was 3. The third tank army card that activated, it was 3, so it's 3, and it's +2 if situation strength is 221 or better. It is, so we go to 5. +1 for Soviet artillery barrage. We're not in Soviet artillery barrage, this is the limiting line, so no 5. +1 if attack is in Soviet support. Yes, every turns 1 to 4, everything is in Soviet support, so that's a 6. +1 if only Soviet units have armor. No, it's an armored unit. Then +1 if any attacking units are surrounded. No such luck. No, no unit is surrounded. I mean, even here, which is between German units, this hex is not in an enemy zone of control, so it's not surrounded. And the next one is where the mistake happened. If flanking will apply, or defender will be surrounded and unable to trace supply after you put any reserves and stuff like that. And I added here +1 for flanking because it was an attack from 3 hexes, but forgot that it was a town, so you can't be flanked. So flanking will not apply, so we remain at 6. Then +1 if target hex is 2 VP or more. It's not, it's 1. +1 if all combat tactics on auxiliary card apply to attack. No auxiliary card, so no tactics to apply. And +1 if less than 4 cards in the Soviet draw pile. I mean, they've got something like 6 or 7 cards, so clearly this doesn't apply. So we're left with 6. 3 command value, 2 situational strength, and 1 Soviet support. So the tactical value is 6, and the rules state that the tactical value should be at least 7 for the attack to go on. So here is a no attack. I hope I have done it correctly this time. I've read and reread the rules. So next check, as I said, we check the lead units in ascending orders. Of course, you can't check these because they have already been checked against this hex. Its hex is checked only once in its attack check, but now we have to check this one. This is just one, no other apply. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Yes, it's 1-to-1. It's not less than 1-to-1, so we have to calculate the tactical value again, but here we have the command value, which is 3. The situational strength is not 2-to-1, it's just 2-to-1. No Soviet artillery barrage, so no +1. +1 for Soviet support, so we go to 4. If only Soviet units have armor, they don't. If any attacking units are surrounded, they are not. This unit is not surrounded. Flanking, no flanking here. It's not a VP hex. No auxiliary card and no card. So this is just a 4. And 4, again, tactical value 4, it doesn't give us an attack. We don't go on with the attack. So we will go and check the last German unit, yes, the last Soviet unit adjustment to a German unit. So ascending order again, this one will be a lead unit, and this is going to be the target. And let's apply the same procedure. I mean, it's 7-to-3. It's again 2-to-1 because this unit doesn't get any modifier. No adjustment, no improved position. no, neither positive, not negative. It's not all supplied right now, it's not dispersed. So it's 2 to 1. Again, the command value of the card is 3. The situational strength ratio is 2 to 1 or better, so it's +2, it's a 5. We are within the artillery barrage, so that's a 6. And the attack is in Soviet support, that's already a 7. Only Soviets have armor, that's an 8. The attacking units are not surrounded. Flanking will apply. Yes, we're not in a town flanking supply, so what's it's 8. And yeah, I think it's an 8, but anyway, it's more than 7. So this attack will go on again. It's 3 for card, +2 for the strength, it's 5, +1 for the barrage, it's 6, +1 for support, it's 7, +1 for armor, it's 8, and +1 for flanking, it's 9. Yeah, it's actually 9, but anyway, this attack will go on as normal. So what we do now is draw a Soviet card for combat tactics. I have reset and shuffled the cards, so let's see what we get. Let me remind you that the Soviets already got artillery within the artillery barrage zone. This means 1 plus cheat. And let's see the combat tactics, and it's assault coordination. Again, I think this is the same as the previous time I attempted the battle, and I mean, that's a good synthesis of so one. I've shuffled the cards actually, but it's the same. Well, some things just have to happen, don't they? And this card again, after the combat, will go back to the Soviet draw pile, which is a shame actually. But okay, so Soviets have 2 tactics. Assault coordination, which means that this unit will also join the attack and alter the odds in favor of the Soviets. So it goes 2 to 1, and now it's going to be 11 to 3, so that's 3 to 1. Okay, that's 3 to 1. Then, and of course artillery, and let's calculate the cheats. We've got 1 3-step unit, so that's 2 cheats, 1 2-step, 3 cheats, and 1 again 2 steps, that's 4 cheats from the unit, +1 for artillery, that's 5, and +1 for assault coordination, that's 6. Again, 2, 3, 4, and 2, that's 6 cheats. Okay, the minimum of course is 2. This is a 2-step unit, but it doesn't matter because the Soviets, as you've said, always go for the maximum number of cheats. And let's try and get the 6 cheats. No, things are not looking good for this unit, I know. Okay, let cheat, of course. Attack strength greater equal to 2 to 1 it is, less than 2 to 1 it isn't. So this applies because we're 3 to 1. Okay. Second cheat. Only attacker armor turns 1 to 8, it's turn 1, and only defender armor, no wish. So this applies too. Yes, attacker artillery, defender no. It's 3. 4 to 1, no, it's not, it's 3 to 1, but it is better than 2 to 1. Every cheat applies right now. Attacker artillery, oh, and it's okay. This is a different chord. It has come up again in the previous. So you see the color is a little bit darker. I know it's not true. Let me get it between the others so you can see it better. Yeah, it's darker. So that means we get the chits from previous battles. I'm going to return them to the mug and suffer, and then we'll continue drawing, and after resolving everything in this battle, all the chits from this battle also will go back into our mug of chits. So this the chit pool gets replenished at random intervals, and also at the end of turn. Okay, let's get our final chit, and yeah, it's not a one hex attack, it's definitely a flank attack. Wow, look at all those hits. Oh, everything side up applies, so it's what we've got 6 for the defender and just 2 for the attack. We'll have to say a little bit to discuss about how we'll go to apply them. Sorry. Okay. 6. I mean, it's obvious that there's nothing we can do. This unit is eliminated because you can satisfy, even if it was not surrounded, we could just satisfy 2 hits by retreating 2 hexes and becoming dispersed, and then 4 hits would be left. We have 2 steps. I mean, we would have to lose 4 steps. We don't have 4 steps, we have just 2 steps, so it's going to be eliminated anyway. But since it's surrounded, I mean, the first hex, because it's around, the first hex will also incur an additional hit. So with just 3 hits, this unit would be gone. But anyway, it's 6 hits. I mean, it's over. This game over for this unit. Now we have to apply hits to the attacker. There is a rule though that limits the number of hits that the attacker will incur, and the Soviet attacker actually, because they have this advantage. When we fail to satisfy all hits incurred by the defender, I mean, no way we could satisfy 6 hits. The attacker hits will benefit, let's say, because if all defending units are eliminated, we reduce the hits incurred by Soviets by number of unfulfilled German hits. Assume defender satisfied 2 hits by retreat, if retreat possible. So yes, retreat was possible, even if that meant another step loss. So we satisfied 2 hits by retreating, and then we lost another hit. So another hit, it would be a step loss. But even if one considers that we satisfied 3 hits or 4 hits, I mean 2 retreating, 2 from the wind, still there would be at least 2 hits unsatisfied. And since the attacker has only suffered 2 hits, this means that the attacker will suffer nothing. So the Soviets incur no hits, and these hits, sorry, go back into the mana a little bit. Now, this card would normally be discarded, but it goes back. It's a reuse card because it's primary, obviously. It goes back into the draw pile. It's soft, it's okay. And I think I should probably get some sleeves. These Soviet cards are seeing a lot of shuffling. So okay, now advanced time, and you can remember that there was this thing about previous part 10 about this unit going back and forth. I've discussed it a little bit, you know, on BGG form, stuff like that, but the rules are rules. I can't find anything that says that we shouldn't check this unit for advance, even if it seems backwards. Okay, so it's and not primary direction, it's the second actually set of preferences. It's the attacked hex, so no units, but it's not an auto. That's the difference. It's not an automatic advance. We have to roll a die, and it's 1 to 7 chances of advancing, and this time it's a 9. But if you remember from the ill-fated part 10, what it did, it's mechanized, so it went back, and then again, following the rules, it went forward again. So this time it just spared us the trouble. It's a 9, it doesn't advance. Now we have to check, of course, the other unit. The other unit is into first data play, not a VP hex, but it's primary direction and no other units in this hex, so it's an automatic advance, so this unit advances here. And it's not mechanized, it's an infantry unit, and of course you have to check, one has to check for restrictions for advance, because the restriction that would matter here is that German proximity shouldn't be by, you know, advancing or moving otherwise. You shouldn't be creating a situation where German units would be proximate to an empty Soviet VP hex. I mean, we've only got one empty Soviet VP hex up. You can just see it a little bit. Yeah, it's better. That's it. Up here, Valuki. Well, anyway, but no German units are proximate, because here you can see a continuous zone. You can go through here, a continuous zone of control. There is just one gap and a little one in the Soviet lines here, but German I mean, there are these units from Komporaus, but just infantry for movement, so they would go, let's suppose they would try for it, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, no way they can reach back here, because they would have to go all these, it's 8, 9 movement points. It's not doable, so it's not proximity. Let me remind you again, and remind to myself also, has to be in one single movement. So this concludes this error fixing part, actually. Thank you again for all your positive comments, for all the encouragement, and for helping me out and pointing out mistakes and discussing things with me. So I'll see you back in the next German Impulse.